days so I can hunt during the rut up here in Mississippi. And of course, finally get to hunt for a few days straight. Get up here to Mississippi, middle of the rut, and it's 78 degrees this morning. So, not your typical December morning. And it's gonna be like that the whole 3 days I'm here. It's gonna be hot. But basically just gonna get in tight into the bedding areas, which is what I've done this morning. I'm not really in tight to a bedding area, but I am directly in between two bedding areas that I know for sure where deer bed. Directly in between them. Last year there was a heavy trail about 20 yards from where I'm hung up right now. And I got the 308 this morning. My furthest shot's probably 60 yards, but I'm thinking this is gonna be the way to do it with all this wind and the heat like this. Staying in tight like this in this thick stuff. So, we'll see what happens this morning. Feeling pretty good about it. All right, back in the stand this afternoon. It's like 76, 77 degrees. Y'all are gonna recognize where I'm at this evening. It's where I shot that doe. That first kill video this year. She was standing right here. About 15 steps. We're gonna see tonight if there's a big buck living around here. I know there's a bunch of scrapes. I can see them from the tree. This road over my left shoulder that I talked about in that video, where the does came from, it's just a place that deer generally like to walk, it seems. And with this wind this afternoon, it's like a 14-mile-an-hour wind, which these deer aren't really used to that. So hopefully they'll be staging up in this road on the edge of this food plot that I can see, which I otherwise wouldn't be able to see if I was in the box stand back there. On the edge of this field right here, so hopefully that's what they're doing. Hopefully we got a hot doe in here that's got a big old buck behind her. All we can do is sit here and see. I'm ready for it. Let's try this again. Super windy, still hot. Plan is basically find a, just want to look into a big bottom where the animals can get out of the wind, see if anything crosses through it. That's about all I got right now as far as leads on anything. Is I know the wind is strong. There's a buck track right here. Not really sure like where to decide to hunt based on knowing there's a big buck in the area. So it could be anywhere around here, honestly. So basically just gonna go watch over a bottom tonight. See what happens. All right, so we have successfully gotten the best of both worlds here. I've got a flat ridge top right here, which this whole thing's kind of a flat ridge top. But directly out in front of me, I was able to get on the green patch and see way down into this bottom out in front of me. And I could see the road that I walked in on. That might not be good. You can see behind me, this is a main primary ridge right here. You see secondary ridge, two of them right there. They come right there and meet each other. But that's all right. That knocks one trail out of the equation at least. But I know for certain that there's a ridge over here that meets up with this one that's got like a saddle in it that the deer love to cross. So all we're gonna do now is chill. Probably get rained on too, but it's gonna be fun. They had enough limbs on this tree to where all I did was climb the tree and set my stick up. So we're good. We up here, probably a little over 20 feet. So sweet. Up here at 3 o'clock. It's 3:45 right now. I'm hauling butt to Mississippi. Trying to make a deer hunt. Still rutting pretty good up there, and this is the middle of this cold front. Well, let's just say a day after the cold front. No, day and a half after the cold front. And it's downright cold. It's 28 degrees, 29 degrees right now. And I'm hoping it's got the bucks on their feet. As of now, I will be getting there at 6:08, and sunrise is at 6:58. So I'm cutting it real close. I like to be in there like 30 minutes before the actual sunrise time. But that's cool. Main thing is we got to be careful because these bridges ought to be iced over. So I'm gonna chill out on the gas pedal a little bit, even though I'm speeding just a tad. But we're gonna try to be safe, be careful getting up there, so we can murder a deer this morning or this evening. We'll see. And we'll be back home tonight. Got pictures with the baby. Got a doctor's appointment with the baby tomorrow. Daddy got to get it in today. Boy, let's go. Let me just say this while I'm thinking about it. If you can be in the woods when there's ice on the ground and the wind ain't blowing a lick, there's nothing like it. It's the best thing in the world. It's the absolute best hunts you'll ever have. For many different reasons. You could hear a mosquito fart if there was a mosquito out here. This is awesome. I've only seen 2 deer, but just being out here is pretty sweet. So I'm sitting here with this damn neck gaiter over my ears. My ears were cold. I turned to the left because I hadn't looked over my left shoulder in a while. They had 5 does, well, 5 does and fawns with an 8-point behind them. I busted the does. Well, they busted me. They ran off. The 8-point just worked off ahead of me. I guess on another deer's trail. I don't know. I've been hearing deer walk all morning. Every time a deer's walked right there, I've heard it. And I have my dang thing over my neck. I couldn't hear it. I mean, over my ears. That was a lot of does and fawns just to have 1 buck behind them. I know I don't think I have very many videos where I'm in a box blind, but tonight is different. I have not hunted this stand in, let's say I was 13, 14 years old. Probably 14, 15 years. honestly, since I've been in this stand. Yeah, probably 13 years. If my memory serves me right, I haven't been in this stand since I was middle school, maybe. So, that's my grandpa decided today. He said, you can go out there if you want. I said, all right. No hesitation. This is one of his favorite spots. You don't want no smoke, boy. That buck looks a lot bigger in this video. Trust me, it ain't. Nice buck, but not what I'm looking for. I understand there's a lot of people out there that would love to shoot a deer like that. And honestly, I would too. Especially at this point. But we've been working on this place for years. And I just know what kind of deer we have around here. And if you let more walk like that, there should be more turbos to go around. Sometimes it's hard to do, but you know, pressure makes diamonds. It puts a lot of pressure on you when you got a 3.5-year-old 8-point sitting out there eating for 30 minutes. And you hadn't shot a deer since November 4th. It's tough, but you gotta suck it up. If you want to kill a turbo, I technically don't need the meat that bad at the moment, so. All right, so had a deer come out about an hour ago. A huge body. And it looked like a mature buck, but his rack didn't suit his body. I texted my grandpa about it. He said he'd been having problems with that deer. Big mature buck with not much of a rack. Well, a rack that suits his body at least. Been busting him in the stand. Happened last year. I think it happened this year too. He came out the first time and I texted him. And he said, that sounds like him. And to shoot him if I see him again. And he just came back out and I shot him. So we're about to look for blood. I know I hit him. I saw him buck real hard and take off. So let's see what we can do. I'm not gonna take it out right now. All right, so I owe a little bit of explanation as to why I don't have the recovery video or me with the deer. And that's because shortly after I shot the deer, my wife called and said our dog ran away. We've had this dog, well, since we've been together, we've had the dog, but she's had the dog since she was 15. And he ran away, so she called me. She was crying. The baby was crying in the background, so I figured I better hurry the hell up and get home. So I picked him up, took him back to camp, cleaned him, put him in the ice chest, and then ran home. Looked for the dog, couldn't find him. And then my neighbor had him the next day. So all is well. The dog is home and everybody's cool. But I think the deer was 5.5 years old. I'm not sure. That was just a guess on the hoof, but his rack didn't really reflect it. So I'm either gonna send the jawbone to the taxidermist that we use, or they got a service online where I think you have to take out a couple of molars and send it in, and they count the rings on the cementum anguli. I don't know if it's on the inside of the tooth or on the outside. I have to read up on it some more, but I'm gonna try that out and just compare the two, see if they match up between the taxidermist and the service, just to see. I'm interested. But anyway, I took some photos after I found the deer, and I'm gonna throw them up right here real quick. And that's it. That's why I don't have the recovery video, unfortunately, but it's cool. We're all cool. Everybody's cool. The dog's home. He's chilling. Back in his favorite spot, sleeping.